this, you guys. My hair isn't perfect or anything, but we're gonna still do what it do, you know, because I got my nails done. Nailsing. All right, so let's get into this. Because, you know, it's been a minute. I have been wanting to share some knowledge with my fellow women, my peers, my loved, adored younger generation. So let's get into this fear of being disliked, and let's really break it down. All right. Something that I struggled with a long time, and I struggled with it so that you don't have to. So we're just going to go into 3 different topics. The first one is to stop thinking of people disliking you as a good or a bad thing, and just start thinking about it as a neutral thing. That's the first one. 2, understanding that people really do not care about you and even think about you like you think. Next one, start living the life that you actually enjoy and are proud of, and it wouldn't even be a concern of yours anymore. And last 2, I'll actually combine these 2. Realize the problem is you, and you'll be free. You're developing self-confidence. It's about you learning to like you. And when you learn to like you, then people disliking you doesn't even take up any mental space. It sounds crazy, but let's get into it. So, starting out with thinking about people disliking you as a neutral thing. People judging you or disliking you is okay. You gotta think about it like, who are you that you get to not be judged? Like, really think about that. Think about the amount of people that you look at and you're like, I don't really like this person's personality. I don't vibe with this person. Or even the subtle judgments that you make throughout the day. You know, say you're at work and you see somebody do something like, I don't know, say you're in the bathroom and you hear someone fart. You know, someone always does that. You be in the bathroom trying to be, you know, cute, and then some lady just comes in and starts blowing it up, and you are thinking to yourself, who are you? Why are you up in my space doing this? Ew. That's a judgment right there. Or just the small things, like if you see somebody's outfit is weird, or somebody smells one day, like whatever it is, think there are endless amount of times that you have probably judged somebody. And the same way that you had every right to, other people do as well. And so I think when you start to think of it like this just is what it is. Like, you know, I have a big personality, very outgoing personality, very energetic. My whole life I've always gotten, why are you so damn happy? And I used to think that it was a bad thing. And when I would, you know, initially have a great rapport with somebody, and then they would come back and have a different energy, I used to take it personal. And I used to really think like, well, what did I do? Instead of just thinking about it like, this isn't even something to think about. There are a million reasons why this person is acting this way. And why am I assuming that it has to do with me? Maybe they woke up on the wrong side of the bed. They were in some bad traffic. They heard that their mother just died. They are just having one of those days that we all have where you don't even know what's wrong, but you just feel bad. You don't feel like talking. You don't feel like yourself. Everybody has these feelings, and when you start to look at it like that, then it's easier to be neutral about it and be like, oh, okay, Frank didn't really say hi to me the same way that he normally does. Something's probably going on with him. You know, don't assume that it's you, because a lot of the time, and this is going into the next topic, understanding that people really don't think about you as much as you think. A lot of times it's not even you, but when you take ownership that it is you, then you're just attracting more of that. If you take ownership like, oh my gosh, every time someone acts different towards me, it's my fault, then you're going to slowly start doing things that actually make it your fault. You know, where your focus goes, energy flows. So if you're focused on being disliked, trust and believe you're going to attract more dislike. Even if it wasn't there to begin with, which a lot of times it's not. People's emotions are like the wind. If you try to understand them and live according to people's emotions, you are going to be lost, my dear girl. Lost. Trust me. You can't rely on them. And that's why, at the end of the day, the key is developing self-confidence. Because when you develop self-confidence, it'll be okay that someone doesn't like you. It will be okay because you like you, and you know internally, like, I'm okay. You'll know that I could have 100 people disagree with my opinion, disagree with how I live my life, and it would be okay. You got to develop some emotional intelligence, and there's so many books out there now all right, understand that people really do not think about you like you would think. Think about this. Think about, because if you're my target audience, then you probably struggle with overthinking, depression, anxiety, fear of being yourself, all that bad stuff, right? All that easily overcomable stuff that staying tuned to my channel, you will learn to overcome. Everybody else has those. Everybody. So you go home and you think of the same mental story of this embarrassing moment from 2 years ago or from yesterday, and oh my gosh, am I gonna make the same mistake again? And oh my gosh, like, am I gonna say the right thing in front of this group of people? Is it better to be awkwardly silent or awkwardly talking? Your doubts, your worries, the constant loop, right? Everybody's dealing with those. Just as you go home and you have your worries, insecurities, memories of embarrassing moments, literally everyone else does too. Not to be harsh, but you're not special in that regard. Once you understand that, then your world can expand from the small-minded assumption that people are out to get you and evolve and transform into seeing the good in people, even the people that you never saw good in before. Thinking like this, you will start to. People who you even probably used to judge heavily will end up becoming your friends, because when you think so small that like everyone is out to get you, everybody's focused on you, then you don't have a lot of room to think beyond that. But once you start thinking like, wow, everybody else has their own life going on, their own troubles, like, you know, say you're coming into work and you have some coworkers that you don't get along with, think like whatever reason that you don't get along with them, think like, this person, there's probably a reason that they're acting like that, and it's not me. It's not me. And if it is you, it still isn't you, because when you have true self-confidence, nothing people do can bother you. And so that is just a projection from them. If they don't like you, that's just something going on with them that something in you is triggering. It has nothing to do with you. What people think about you is none of your business. You have to realize that true self-confidence, again, nothing people do will bother you. It's only that something in you is being triggered by, it's because something in you is being triggered by something in them. But if you overcame all of your insecurities, all of your fears, all of your doubts that you've been holding on to, then you wouldn't get triggered by those people, because you would be living a completely different life. Those worries, fears, doubts that you have now won't even be on your radar when you start to develop your self-confidence. And lastly, it's self-confidence. It's about you learning to like you, baby girl, baby boy. First thing to know is you need to start having self-compassion in order to develop self-confidence, to the point that you don't fear being disliked. And that starts with having compassion for others. The same people that you're fearing being disliked, there's probably grown some resentment or feeling of dislike for them, because you're going to inevitably project it back to them. If you feel like you're being wronged, you instinctively want to wrong someone. If you feel like you're being disliked, let me say that again. If you feel like you're being wronged, you instinctively want to wrong someone back. If you feel like you're being disliked, then you instinctively want to dislike that person back. It's human nature. So you gotta start having compassion for others the same way you would want to have compassion for you when you're having a bad day. We're human. We have to make allowance for each other. So you gotta start having compassion for those people that you don't like right now. Start having compassion. If you've been insecure most of your life, realize and understand that you have been the worst companion to yourself. I'll say this again. If you've been insecure most of your life, you must realize you have been probably the worst companion to your inner me. A lifetime of criticism, feeling guilty, shameful, embarrassment, blaming. Your inner child is probably in the corner in terror. Seriously, like no joke. So you gotta start showing compassion to yourself. Like I always say this, what started the development of my true confidence was positive self-talk. Yes, you may have had a lifetime of being negative, but it's time to change that. Now is the time. I love you, Taylor. I'm so smart. I'm so confident. I'm so able to do this. I'm charismatic. I get along with everybody that I run into. Start talking like that, and you would be surprised how fast the world starts to change around you. You never have to be cruel to yourself, ever. And that's just that on that. That's this video. Fear of being disliked. I'm going to continue to be uploading, getting better at being more organized, because I have so many topics that I want to get out there to help the people. And so I'm getting better at it every single day. This is my first video. I got some YouTube setup, and you guys just wait. This is literally the first video, but my plans are to take it high, because I want to reach so many women that were in my shoes, that were struggling with loving themselves. That, trust me, the key to being happy in life is loving yourself, and I'm going to show you guys how to do it. Mwah.